All right. What are we got? Let's see. We're gonna start off with this message. I was told that it was an 11:11 message, so um, yeah, we're gonna jump in and see what's going on with that then. Also, I'm hearing that if it's raining where you're at, that's a good sign. So if it's raining right now, this is a good time to do meditations, to do cord cuttings, to do cleanses. Take your intentions serious today. Take your intentions serious today. Yeah, that's what the divine wants you to know today. Is there something that's making you a bit uncomfortable, and what's making you uncomfortable is not. It's that you're resting, which is good. With the Four of Swords, you're taking a rest, but with the Six of Wands in reverse, that's what's keeping you from like connect. It's like you're resting, but you're not connecting with yourself. Um, to truly be in rest, there is a full feminine masculine connection happening inside of you, the heart to the mind, the subconscious to the conscious. So the divine really needs you to focus on doing that today, especially because the 11:11 portal is literally tomorrow. But with the Page of Cups reversed, it feels like there's some. You might not have been hearing that correctly. You might not have been getting the correct rest is what I'm hearing, or the correct words from spirit. Some of y'all might not have. Some of y'all aren't hearing what the divine's trying to say, and they want you to know it's fine. Just this Mercury retrograde energy that's making it hard to speak and stuff. But we have the Emperor that's coming out, so they do want you to take control, take this wheel. Um, know that you are in leading energy, that you are in this controlling energy, but you still need to be in that full connected energy with the feminine side of yourself as well to really hone in what you want for this 11:11 portal. Yeah, and then the lovers to confirm the Five of Wands. It's like you end up do connecting, but with the Five of Wands, this could either be outside distractions that are causing internal interruptions. Like maybe you just can't find a place to be quiet for a minute, or whenever you do get into connection with yourself, you almost have to argue with yourself. The divine wants you to detach from the argument. The divine needs you to understand that when you argue, it's just you and your thoughts running over each other. Like it's just thought running over another thought. There is no real internal argument. It is just a thought being combated with another thought, or being faced with another thought, because all you can do is receive ideas, and those ideas turn into turn into feeling first, then thought, but you're not paying attention to the feeling, and it's this disconnect from the feminine energy, your heart. So take time to really dive in and silence that. Try to silence the mind today as much as you can. Silence the mind. Get into deep meditation. um I am hearing, preferably for some of y'all, not to do some sort of ambience if possible, because it's something about you end up falling asleep during meditation, or you're unable to stay conscious. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not wrong, but there's a falling asleep or a disassociation whenever you do meditate. It's like you end up forgetting that you're meditating because of some sort of outside, again with the like 501 to Saturn, like some sort of like outside idea happening, some sort of outside energy happening. So be sure to really tune that out if you can. But if it's like, for some of you, I mean, it's okay, like do what you need to do. But like for y'all who know, like that's an issue. That's what's going on with the Ace of Cups, because the divine is trying to tell you something. The divine is trying to give you the emotions that you need to be able to manifest what you need. Like, you know what I mean? Like you already have the idea for what you want to manifest, but you need this energetic. You need the energy. You need the nurturing. You need this feminine action to be backing it up with this Ace of Cups. And that's what the divine's trying to get you to get in this state of harmony within yourself, so that you can put these emotions toward what you desire, rather than towards fighting off all these other thoughts that don't even need to be combated. Because the with how the brain works, how the mind works, how the human just ego, this meat suit works, is if something can't, if it's not being fought against, then it doesn't have like, then it's not, it doesn't have a purpose. And the brain doesn't want to think that it's receiving something without a purpose. So the ego will attach to it and then fight it, because it's like, oh, I need this, oh, I don't need that, and then give it a reason to stay. And that's what you're needing to detach from, is giving these thoughts, giving these certain ideologies a reason to stay whenever they just need to leave. Yeah, with the Three of Pentacles coming out, this is how you're going to be able to help yourself within this energy. Like you need to be in full cooperation with your masculine, your feminine, and then as well as you in the middle, you being the soul or the spirit, respectfully. Like that's how you're getting, that's how you, like that's why you're in the middle, is because you are listening to both sides, you know, the devil or the divine, whichever way you wish to be, you know. But that's why you're stuck in the middle of these two, because you're almost trying to cease some sort of argument, because you feel like your heart's fighting something, which is completely impossible. People who say that your heart can't have an issue. The heart is where the divine resides. It's the purest placed. It can't be broken. It's not, your heart doesn't argue with you. It's all your head. It's literally all your mind. And people will tell you otherwise, but they don't know a damn thing about what they're talking about, okay? And I will be the first one to tell that to their face. You don't know a damn thing that you're talking about if you think that your heart is fighting you. That's a bunch of bullshit that was told to you by the church to keep you under control. Simple enough, you know? Don't have to believe it, but that's just the truth. So it's about calming the mind and not the heart, because the heart doesn't need to be calm. The heart is connected to the divine. That's where your soul, your spirit resides. It's where the divine gives you your information. It's why you're even able to feel anything, is because the divine's giving you that grace, and then you think that it's something else when it's not. It's just love. So that's what you really need to be aware of as well, is understanding that part, understanding like how you actually work, and not listening to all these lies, because people go out and fucking spread lies all the time about the human body, because either A, they don't know what they're talking about, B, they read it on some fucking thread with a bunch of people that don't really know what they're doing and probably just high off their rockers and assuming shit, or by officials in the government and the higher ups, the Illuminati, the reptilian overlords. You know how they are, the archons. They just want you to not know how to use your meat suit while being down here. But the Seven of Pentacles reverse, it's again, don't work too hard. Don't focus on what you need to do in the future. Don't focus on what you've already like planted. You know what I mean? There's not a need to like dig up the seeds right now. There's not a need to overwater. It's like, plan. What do you wish to do? You know what I mean? You know what you want to receive, but what are you going to do with what you receive? What's your plan? And that's why these manifestations are taking a minute to come through, because though they're accepted, it's like, what's your plan? It's like you're getting a loan from the divine when you ask for manifestations, when you send your energy up. When you receive energy back, you're getting a loan from them. So it's like, what are you using this on? Oh, I don't know. Something. Okay, well, I'm using it because I'm stressed. Well, that's nice and all, but you know, what's the actual purpose? What are you actually going to do with this? We need to know. And it's like and if you don't even know what you're using it for, that's what you need to figure out. Like, what are you getting this for? Don't think that you have to like continuously work on one lane of doing something. Like, allow yourself to really see what you need, and then allow yourself to know what you need and why you need it, what you're using this for. You know what I mean? Like, you need, add more specifics basically in this time. Allow yourself to understand that you deserve what you deserve, and what you're asking for is not far out of reach. It's just that your thoughts aren't allowing yourself, are going too fast, or are combating what you're wishing for, because there's some form of plan that you aren't using or doing or having at this time. And without that plan, that makes room for your ego, for your mind to then be like, oh, what about this? What about that? And a lot of you all might just struggle with the whole thing of, oh, it's not going to work. And that's the final stage of getting rid of like this nagging side of your thought process, is that it's that last form. Because whenever it says, oh, it's not going to work, there's no reason behind why it's not going to work. It's just saying that. So understand that if you're dealing with that, you're at the final stages basically of conscious correctness, excuse me, where you no longer have your consciousness fighting against your will, but instead fighting for your will. We have the Wheel of Fortune upright, the Six of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, Knight of Wands reversed, and the Tower. But with the Six of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune, this is you taking this advice, you really listening to yourself, you allowing yourself to receive, is really the last step. Because it seems like you're stuck on the swords, but you want to blame the action of the swords or the thoughts on the cups or the heart, whenever that's not the case at all. And that's what's keeping you feeling like you're not emotionally connecting to what you desire. So pay attention to that, especially on this portal. And the Two of Pentacles. This also might be like you have too many ideas, and you need to realize that even though you can have them all, if you have way too many ideas for what you need to, for what you're wanting to do, to list them out, and then just like write them all out, and then put them all in like an order for what you desire the most to desire the least, and worry about your feelings and not your thoughts. Like there's a need to really look into your heart space, your feelings, and not your thoughts, because you might think that your thoughts are what's creating all of the manifestations, and though they are, but it's because you've turned them into emotions. You've turned the feeling into an emotion, an energy in motion, which is causing these thoughts to go sporadic. Thoughts don't react that way when a feeling happens, only when an emotion does. When a feeling happens, you sit there and absorb and observe it as well. But when it becomes an emotion, you attach to it, you begin thinking about it, you begin identifying with it, which then creates the stagnancy, the Knight of Wands to the Tower. And that's this tower moment that you're in. That's why things feel like they're at a halt, because the divine's trying to again teach you deeper ways, teach you the correct way to truly manifest, the correct way to use your vessel. You have the Queen of Cups as well. Know that the divine is here nurturing you. Know that the divine has already sent you the feeling that you need. It is simply just your thoughts that are causing all this kerfuffle and commotion at this time. It is the thought, it is the uncertainty is what I'm hearing that is causing all the kerfuffle. So a need to silence the mind. And it doesn't mean fighting your thoughts. It just means letting the thoughts that exist flow, not attaching to it. Practice the art of detachment. Some of you may need to really do that. So what else is going on for this 1111 portal, Spirit? What else is going on for this 1111 portal? So yeah, you don't have an idea. The Ace of Wands reversed to the World. It's like you don't even know. You're not looking at the idea the right way, or there's some idea that you've been given by mother to do, but you're like, I don't know, or you're putting it off. You're not using this energy that you're getting correctly, which is why you're stuck in all these thoughts, because this energy has to be used. And if you're using your free will not to use it on what it's supposed to be used on, then subconsciously you're going to end up using that energy for something else, because you're going to know deep down, I need to do this, and that's going to cause you either irritation or stress, or like, I know I'll do it later. And then now it gives those thoughts a reason to be there, because you're attaching yourself to an outcome that internally you don't even agree with. But you've already received the energy. You've received the idea, but you declined it. But that doesn't mean that you don't have the energy still. Like, you have it, but you're not using it for what it's supposed to be used for. You've done the manifestation process correctly, but you still need to do some form of action. And it feels like it feels minuscule. Like, it doesn't feel like it would make a big difference, but then again, that's you thinking and not feeling. So really take time to feel with this. The Nine of Swords again, like, it feel like all these thoughts that you're buried with, it feels like, yeah, because with the Nine of Swords, it's like you're surrounding yourself with all these thoughts, and like, it might even, again, it's mental restlessness. It's even the, like, feeling like you can't do something. The Cain and Abel of the deck. Whenever you know you can because you've received the energy, the I can't comes from a refusal of self. And that's the truth. Whenever you say you can't, that's you saying I refuse. So it's you refusing something that's causing these thoughts to come around you. It's something that you're not even wanting to accept that's causing these thoughts to even come at you in such a way, because you're using the energy of, hey, let's do this, to then, like, prevent you from doing it. And that's what you need to focus on. You're allowing some form of 3D distraction with the Five of Wands, even Saturn. It's like, oh, but what if someone sees me do this? Or XYZ. You're making all these, like, excuses that, though they may happen, the divine gave you a reason to do this, so it's not going to happen, but you're using that energy to just timeline jump through all sorts of timelines, and seeing what's unfavorable in all of them, rather than realizing that what you favor the most is just the end result of that action. So really take time to, like, digest this, take time to understand this as well. Like, the only reason why you're having all these thoughts of, like, oh, something's going to go bad, is because you're literally timeline jumping, and you're looking around for things that you do not like. You're looking for proof for why you are refusing, or why you can't do something, because for some reason your thoughts don't want you to, and it's because deep down you like, you're, I don't know, it's like you're believing some sort of falsity about a situation, and that's causing you to feel like you can't do it unless it's done a specific way. But the way that you're thinking is an amalgamation of the worst timelines, because the only way you would have been faced with those ideas is by going through those timelines and then stopping where things don't go right. And though, yes, that's how reality works, you're doing it in the sense of looking at all the bad rather than all the good. And that's why it's covered in fear, because you've already walked down that path in the astrals and other dimensions, and you already know how that side's going to play out. So you need to not timeline jump to places where you can't, or where things are fearful. You need to just allow the energy that the divine gave you, the idea that the divine gave you, to blossom and flourish, because they're not going to put you through something that you don't need. But your thoughts and your ego will, just to prove to you just how it's going to work out, because it's still running off the pure force of it will and it can, but your thoughts are going to put you through the turmoil of it can't and this is why. So be very, very aware of that on this 1111 portal, especially because it's Mercury retrograde too, which explains, I mean, it's a lot of it. With the Page of Swords, yeah, there's something about, you really need to take time to ponder on this. Like, understand that there are, because this is just given, this just feels like just Mercury retrograde energy. Like, you're being faced with this old cycle version of yourself, where you're trying to manifest yourself out of a situation, or manifest yourself into something greater. And you have infinite possibilities to do either side of those things. But what you truly desire is what you're going to truly get. And unfortunately, when we put energy into combating something, it's because we desire to combat it. So allow yourself to desire a favorable outcome without any sort of conflict. Because if it happens internally, it's going to be seen externally. And with the Four of Cups and the and the Ten of Pentacles, excuse me, like, that's what you need to focus on. Meditate on how you want this to actually end. Focus on how you want the end result on the physical to work. Focus on what you actually desire, and not on the thoughts that want to come up and try and combat you, because that's an old version of yourself. That's the matrix. That's this part of you that you've been working so hard to shed apart from. But now that it's time to put it to test, instead of having all these like micro trials, now it's time to put it to the test. And it's difficult because again, we're in Aquarius, so it's all about what you truly desire. And look, a lot of planets are in Aquarius. We're in Scorpio season. Mercury retrogrades out. It's like all these things are here to test you about what you truly desire. And if you don't know what you truly desire, then that leaves a lot of room for speculation. And that's what causes these cycles to continuously happen of like something works out but not all the way, or it's not as favorable as you desire it to be. And it's because of that missing piece is how I'm hearing it. You ain't ever gonna get a tarot reading like this in your life from anyone on this platform. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm the only one that's gonna tell you the fact like this. You ain't ever gonna hear it from no one like that. They'll tell you some fucking pseudo shit. I'll tell you the real reason why. Because they don't even know the real reason why. They just know a little bit of it, you know? But this is this is the real deal. Banana peel, whatever the hell. It's the real thing, though. But what else is going on here, Spirit? What else can we expect on this 11/11 portal for collective? What other advice? What can we expect? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Spirit? Yeah, it's time. We have time, balance, memory now, mirror, copy, reflect. Yeah. Make sure that you're intaking what you wish to reflect out into reality. Now is time to realize this. It's time for balance. It's time for things to become balanced. So really, really, really focus on that. Focus on the beauty. Focus on the parts of the timelines that you're on, that you're wishing to continuously see yourself prosper in. And you can do it in the sense of like going into past timelines, finding that energy that you wish to embody, but instead of embodying it in that old timeline, because that old timeline involves an old version of you, understand and delve deep into why you felt that way. Look at what you were receiving and allow that receiving energy to help you fuel a more solidified energy for what you need in this timeline. You know what I mean? So do some reflection, do some meditation on the past of things that the divine has blessed you with in abundant ways. And instead of attaching yourself to that past energy, allow how you feel in the present moment with that energy. Because what you're gonna feel is how the max of because all happiness is happiness, right? And all excitement is excitement. But it's going to allow you to see that you have a better path, right? Your path is wider. You have more of a hunger for what you desire now than you did back then. So all it's going to do is put you in that energy to desire more. And that's where you have to worry about like the past being like, oh, now you're asking for too much in XYZ of that, because you're not. That's the detachment from the past. That's the detachment from the self, from the mind, that the divine's wanting you to do heavily. It's just to copy the energy, but don't copy the mindset. Don't copy the persona, the thing behind it. Read in between the lines is what they're saying. Like, there's context. Take the clues, take bits and pieces that you need, because these are the final few forms of like manifestation that no one really talks about. Is really not fighting the mind, not controlling the mind, but working with it. All you can control is your actions. You can't necessarily control your thoughts, because those thoughts come from you from higher places. What you can do in all of your power is just get along with them. You can just accept them for how they are. There's no need to fight or get rid of them, because you wouldn't have received them in the first place if they didn't serve any form of anything. Like you wouldn't receive something if it wasn't for you. but the fact that you're receiving them is because it's for you. So there's not a need to be like, oh, that's bad. It's just a need to detach from what does not serve you in this moment, or what doesn't serve you for what you're trying to do. Yeah. This is the message. There is blessings. You are connecting with Pluto. It's something, again, with Pluto being the underworld, it's something within your shadow that's causing this. But understanding as well that even in moments where you feel super empowered, even though it's for like, even if it's like a glimmer of a second, you still had access to that energy, meaning it's around you. It's just about being aware of where it's at. We have truth, honest, seen, and luck. Like there's a lot of luck around you, and you know that there is, but you've yet to see it. There's something in the shadow that's keeping you, or maybe you're just like overshadowing you. But this is part of your rebirth. This is part of your alchemy training. Is this past cycle coming back to see? But you are protected by your angels. Your angels are here to help you through this. But with Mars energy, action, war, it's all about passion. It's like, what are you more passionate about? Fighting your own thoughts, or just receiving what the divine has for you? Like that's the question you have to ask yourself. Like, is it even worth fighting these thoughts that have been created by man, or have been influenced by man, I should truly say, not created but influenced by man? Or should I really just focus on the bigger picture of what the divine really has in store for me? That's the bottom line question that you have to like ask yourself. But your angels are trying to connect with you at this time as well, and they're trying to help you get where you need to get. You might have been getting a lot of signs about like manifestation today or what to do today, but that's because they've been really reaching out to you, and they want you to really see where you're going. Like you're heading where you think you're heading. You're heading where your mental wants you to go, because you wouldn't, if you don't have an idea of how to get there, you won't get there. And if the divine, I mean, not the divine, Canadian geese going. So this might be about travel. Like know that you can. Um, but like if you don't have an idea for where you're gonna go, yeah, that leaves room for the divine to work through, but that also causes a lot of fear and uncertainty that then you have to combat and waste energy on, rather than, you know, making a path that's desirable for you. So using your energy wisely today is really, really, yeah, mastery, control, complete, because this is like, I feel like this is the mastery course. Like this is like the final few tests. But this is where you're starting to master like who you are. It's where you're starting to realize that you're in control. You're a master of your hands, of your legs, of your mind. You're a master of these things because you know how to use them. Not know how to control them or manipulate them, but you know how to use them. You know how to grab objects and walk forward. You know how to think not only for yourself, but you know, and thinking for yourself includes not paying attention to past thoughts that someone else may have put on you, or paying attention to past ideologies that someone tried to compare you to. That's also a mastery of the mind. Because only someone that does not have a mastery over their mind would accept an opinion from someone else and allow that to stop them, or allow that to create a feeling or an emotion within them, because they wouldn't have received that energy if they didn't think that it was perceived in the first place. So understanding that as well. And water, so this is about your like emotions. Water, you could be a water sign or have water heavily in your chart, or just be going through some form of emotion. And as I said at the beginning of the reading, like if it's raining where you're at, that's a really good sign of, that's a good sign. Some of you all might need to go in like a bath and get this meditation done, or go outside in the rain and get this done. But it's something about getting within the flow, like finding your flow is what you're doing heavily. Yeah. So we have Mercury reverse duality, and then Uranus. So it's something about, yeah, you're not, it's like not moving within the past energies. Like you're moving forward, but you're comparing your situation to the past. You're moving forward, but you're like, oh, you know, it might just be like you escape something, you know, or like I say escape, but you recently found your way out of something, right? but you keep comparing where you're at now to back then. It's like you've passed the test, but you want to go back and run in the past ashes. Like you want to go play in the past for some reason, and the divine's trying to show you that though you have the right, you have the ability, I should say, to do that because of the mind. It's not what you want. So it's like you're rebelling against yourself in that sense, because you keep comparing your past to your now whenever you're not the same as if you were in the past. And if you are, then that's a sign that you need to do some more growth work, because you shouldn't be who you were in the past. You shouldn't be who you were a day ago, truly. But this is the path that you're on. This is the path of self-understanding, the path of self-wholeness. Not self-unity, not unity, because unity is just untie, scrambled. And if you want to unite, you're just untying yourself to then mash yourself up to be a singular thing, which is not what you want to do. That's not why we're here. We're not here to be the same robotic carbon copies. That's what unity, that's what being one is. There's not like that's, I mean, yeah, that's the trap. You're not here to be one, you're here to be whole. You're already one because you don't even remember that your heart's your feminine. You don't even remember that you're a twin individual. In fact, you say you're an individual and use the letter I to signify that you're just one body with a disfigured head, not even connected to who you really are. So, I mean, understand that you are a twin individual. You are a man, masculine mind, and feminine, the heart, or the divine. You are two in one. And that two in one is three. You are three in one. Because you have to be the third, or this consciousness, the soul or spirit, respectfully, to even inhabit or experience the masculine and the feminine. So you are three within one. You are not an individual at all. That is the biggest scam and biggest lie anyone can tell you. And if any spiritualist is telling you that that it's becoming one, I don't know where the hell they're at, but they're not up with times. They're somewhere else. So don't listen to them. These are things that, like, and I don't know, you can look around everywhere. Like, look at I talk about it all the time, but look at the old alchemy art. Why do you think there's a man and a woman inside of a circle, inside of a square, inside of a triangle, inside of another circle? It's because you're two in one. You're a man and a woman that's in a circle, that's in harmony, that's whole, because circles are whole, circles are infinite. They don't have a beginning or an end. You are infinitely masculine and feminine together, but you are boxed in, and you need to triangulate or remember who you are to become whole again. And that's why you have the triangles, the squares, and the circles, because that's what they have meanings, and people don't understand them. People think that circles are void. No, circles infinite. The infinite symbol that people like to call a figure 8, that's a limniscat. That's a figure of achievement. Like, these are things that we know, but modern day spiritualists are so like brain dead, or like not even listening to like the truth of things. They just want to go off what looks cute, that they fuck up everyone else, and now no one knows the truth, so that when people start saying the truth, they sound like they're made of bullshit, but that's not at all what's going on. That's just the matrix. So some of y'all spiritualists need to wake up and start teaching the correct things and looking for the truth rather than what fits society, because we're not part of society. That's a human construct, okay? We're goddesses and gods coming here to help the ones who are stuck in this societal form to get the fuck out and realize who they are again, okay? But dropping that for a minute, because that's a whole other topic for another day, but that's what we teach over here, is nothing but the truth. We don't teach these like butterfly terms and whatnot. We want the truth out, because age of Aquarius, time to wake up. It's been that way for a minute. But anyway, that's what the divine wants you to focus on. Not necessarily the skill I gave, but the reading. Focus on staying grounded in who you are in your growth. Stay focused on how much you've grown. Stay focused on that. Stay focused on the now, not on the future, because if you focus on the future and that brings worry, then that's going to bring anxiety and halt to the future. Don't focus on the past, because the past is going to hold you back. Focus on now. Or you might even be in a slingshot energy with this bow and arrow. You might just be held back, so that when you do hit this, it's like almost you're playing a rhythm game. and you're about to hit it right on the dot to get shot forward. Like, that's why you're needing to do these groundings, that's why you're needing to do these meditations, because there's something that you know that you deeply desire, but you haven't quite mastered how to get it yet. But you've got bits and pieces, like you've seen it work, you've seen how they work, and now it's about putting these pieces together, being in the now, and allowing yourself to actually launch yourself forward in the way that you're desiring to. Yeah, this is that storm. The storm is literally just like the ship and the, oh god, I'll have to talk about ships another day. Oh my lord. But we're all in this citizenship and whatever, y'all get the gist, I hope. These are all twos, 24, 21, 22. There's a lot of twos. But the ship is the material, the mental, and the thoughts or and the feelings are the water, or the emotion that the thoughts are causing. That's why the thoughts are riding the emotion, you know. The thoughts that you have are riding the emotions that you create. So if you sit back and create emotions that are pleasurable, your thoughts will be able to sail over them. But because they're stormy, it's all these, like, this can't happen, that can't happen, things of that nature. So really stay focused, and stay grounded. Like, anchor yourself in to what you desire, and know that that is all that can exist, because that's all that you desire to exist. We have Earth. This might be about work. You might be an earth sign that needed to hear this as well. But it feels like this is something about earth, something about grounding. You might need to go outside and ground as well to help you. Or this is just something that the divine needs you to work on as well. So what else is going on here? For some of you, it could have been like an earth sign that made this process a little bit harder. But we have lucky and psychic. Like, just know that you're lucky. Then we have meditate here as well. So really meditate on this. Meditate on your, it's like, I don't know. It feels like when you do start meditating or manifesting or something of that nature, it's like you do it, and the energy that's backing it up is, I don't want this, so I'm going to manifest this, which is good, but you're still putting focus to what you don't want, and that's part of the fuel behind what you're doing. So whenever you want to manifest something that's purely good, allow yourself to only manifest that what is good. Don't manifest the thoughts up of why you're doing it because of the lack. Just be happy, accept what you have, allow yourself to embody what you have and understand where you're at, and then manifest and say, I'm going to manifest this. Don't add a condition to it. Adding conditions makes things confusing, because then it makes you have to come up with the reason. So it's like you're trying to manifest money because, like, you're lacking some money, right? Well, you're putting the energy of lack within what you're wanting to gain, which is causing a kerfuffle, because now you're thinking in your head, I'm lacking this, so I need to manifest this. And it's transmutating, sure, but you're using some of the energy that you could have been using for manifestation to instead transmute the I can't to an I can. So allow yourself just to manifest what you desire without having a basis of why you need it, other than to benefit. So I just want to manifest this so I can go do this. There's no I can't, there's no if and buts. It's just you're doing this because you wish for that outcome. I'm manifesting money because I want vacation. I'm manifesting finances because I want financial freedom. Simple as that. No, there's no sort of negative connotation that the mind would pick up on and then make a point towards. It's just going to be this to that. And if those thoughts come up afterwards, it's not that you've put that into the manifestation. At that point, it's just your mind trying to give you a reason for why you need to, but you've already given enough reason for why, and it's just simply you desire that outcome. And you don't need an I can't or a lack reason for why. You just need it because you simply desire it to. And you have that birthright to manifest and to have what you just desire. You don't need to have a reason to combat. You don't need a reason to fight. And that's this fight or flight energy. This causes a lot of people to not manifest, is because they have these, I need to do this because I need to fight something. And you don't need to fight. When you fight, you volunteer. You're volunteering yourself to fight. at that point. And then at that, you're fighting yourself. So then instead of manifesting, you're using energy to fight those thoughts. It lessens the energy. Then you have less and less energy to manifest what you desire, and because of you fighting yourself. And that's just the truth of it. Like, I'm putting y'all on game for manifestation stuff. This is the real deal. Like, people, and it's harder. It's easier said than done for sure, but this is the true and gold process. Like, you know that you desire, you know that you're able to create it, but you spend a lot of energy fighting these things that, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, because your mind isn't clear enough, or because you're adding some sort of reason to add a doubt to it. And that's why manifestations either take longer to come in, or they don't come in as you want them to. It's that process there. Some people do it and it happens once and it's like a one-time miracle because they don't know how they did it, and it's because they got themselves into the zone, they tapped into the energy unbeknownst to them of the purity and allowed that purity to run through them at that time. You know what I mean? And that's why people find it easy to manifest in high stress situations, because you're already transmuting that energy in those high stress situations to get better. So you just focusing on things getting better adds that extra energy into it. That's why a lot of people say, oh, you have to hit rock bottom to manifest. Like, that's a bunch of bullshit. You really don't. When you hit rock bottom, there's no lower than you can go. There's only an option. You can quit or get up. And usually when you say you want to get back up, that's enough of a reason for your brain to go, okay, word will manifest then. You know what I mean? It's Jack and Jill. You don't need to run up the hill to get the water. You just need to sit down at the base of the hill and get the water, because it's already there. But you feel like you need to go around and run and do all these combat things, and you know what I mean? And though, and you know, to each their own, you can manifest however you want, but I'm just telling you that when it all comes down to the nitty-gritty, it's the fight between you and your mind, because your heart's not involved. Your heart already wants you to have it. You already had the energy to even have that thought, you know? So your heart's on board with the tenfold. It's with the divine. It's not going to argue. It's going to sit back until your mind taps into it and agrees that to its terms, because it's connected to the divine. It doesn't need to prove that it's right. It already knows what's going on. But the mind is so lost and careless. The strength card, you know, it's the lion. It's scared. It doesn't know what the fuck it's doing, because if it can't see what's going on, then it's not gonna believe it. That's why we receive signs all the time, to help us and our mind understand we're on the right path for what we need to get to. You know, that's the only reason we receive signs. If we didn't need that, then we wouldn't be needing signs. We would simply just know. And even then, we'd still receive signs, but it wouldn't be seen as like, as a sign, you know what I mean? But this new moon, it's something about this new moon. Maybe you got knowledge of what you truly desire around this full moon, about around the new moon that we had. But it's this new moon that taught you something, or really allowed you to see maybe even like a manifestation fault that you were having, that now you need to put that knowledge to action. Or maybe you found like a manifestation tip or something along those lines to help you manifest that really you enjoyed and like resonated with you. The divine needs you to use that knowledge today, basically. Or whenever you find this, you know, it's a timeless reading, but it's for the 1111 portal. So this knowledge, you know, this wisdom is just timeless. But for those that are wanting to manifest with this 1111 portal, it's like, do this now. Yeah, affluence, because today's a very affluential day, especially because it is Sunday. I feel like that's as well why people should just rest. I wasn't gonna do a reading. I was only gonna do that one this morning. I wasn't really gonna do that one either, but I can't. They just said, "Look, you need to do this real quick." So I was like, "Okay," but like I mean, I'm telling you, affluence and good fortune. You have the power to create what you desire to happen on this 1111 portal, and truly the 1111 portal for a lot of people is going to really conduct a lot of the energy that's going to be going through us for these next 4 years. Because for the next 4 years, a lot of like the cycles, the 10-year, the 15 or 12-year cycle of certain oppression for certain signs is over. And for the next 4 years, it's going to be all about getting back up. These next 4 years is all about people getting to where they truly need to get to. So just allow yourself to actualize that, to delve into that. But that's the message. That is the message. That is the wisdom drop for today. That is the apple that you needed today. We're going to get the angels. And yeah. For some of you, I'm also hearing, I don't know, they're probably going to come out, but Poyel is a really good angel to call upon today if you're having issues with clearing your mind. I mean, there's plenty of other angels, but Poyel will help you deliver like what you desire. So if you need help, always like write to Poyel, pray to Poyel. There's like Poyel prayers you can look up and stuff to really help you with that. As well, that's what I'm getting. But other than that, call upon your guides, your ancestors, everyone around you that you need to help you manifest what you truly desire. Shuffling 2 more times, y'all. But yeah, just call upon everyone that you need because they're around you at this time. And they want you to have what you desire, but it's important for you to also be on board with that fully too. And it's not to say that you're not, but like, you know how it is, like fully consciously aware of like it, subconsciously and consciously aware, I should say. We have Alahaya, God of the eternal lasting, success, protection for magistries. Ilamia, the hidden god, divine power, guards against mental troubles. So already there's a lot of angels helping you guard against these mental troubles and from like these combatants, which is why they really want you to hop on board because they are giving you so much like support and protection at this time that it's like if you could just sit down for like an hour, 30 minutes even, you could change the entire course of your life genuinely just by like an hour or 30 minutes of pure like solitude focused on what you desire. And that's difficult because the human mind can't fucking keep a straight thought for more than 6 seconds. We're literally goldfish because of society and how it is, with all these electronics and stimuli around. But Nelachel, the only god, desire for knowledge, protection from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. Rael, the quickly forgiving god, love and submission, cures illnesses, influences parental love, and gives long life. Uriel, the fire of God, disruption, warns of disaster, and aids in transformation. Michael, who is light god, perseverance, success in conflict, overcoming adversary. Layuaya, the exalted god, victory, grants victory and protection from lightning. Mizrael, God liberating the oppressed, self-atonement, cures illnesses, deliverance from persecution. Goodness. This retrograde's messing with my tongue. Dhammabiya, God the source of wisdom, fountain of wisdom, gives success in all ventures. Samael, the severity of God, seduction and downfall, communicates with the dead and teaches the occult and magic. Izalel, God sung above all, loyalty and allegiance, friendship and reconciliation. And last but not least, Chayuakia, God of joy, reconciliation, regains the favor of one those has offended. Thank you, angels, for being here. Thank you, God, Mother, Father, for being here. Thank you, ancestors, for being here. Thank you, all the spirits, all the souls, everyone. And thank you, collective, for being here as well. On top of that, as well, with the Spirit Otter, if you are interested in the Spirit Otter like sale, hit that up in the description. Same code, same link in the description. Sublunar20. If you're interested in any of my services, readings, books, however, feel free to hit me up. Use the order form in the description or email me and I'll get you sold away. But regardless, thank you all so much for being here. The likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, whether they're energetic or financial. But thank you all so much for being here. I love each and every one of you all. To the moon and back, tenfold and forever. And I will see you later. Happy manifesting.